Welcome to a new series on smart architectural programming. In this series, we'll be tackling what people call the blind 75. The 75 questions originally posted in a forum in regards to the major questions, the most common questions that overall find their way into a programming interview with big tech companies and others as well, obviously. What these 75 questions test are different conceptual frameworks around in a coding interview that test you and your ability to solve problems in a defined, structured manner with constraints given to you. So in this case, the question we have is question number one, which is in regards to a duplicate integer. So the question prompt given to us asks for that given an integer array nums in Python, we need to return true if any value appears more than once in the array. Otherwise, we need to return false. And you might be thinking this is quite simple, but this is not as simple as you believe it to be. What we need to remember is that these questions not only test your ability to solve problems, they also test your ability to solve these problems in the most quickest and most efficient manner as possible. What do I mean by that? I'm pretty sure if you're looking up these questions, you're aware of the concept of O, N, and omega n, right? So basically, the O notation tells us the quickest way algorithm runs, basically the number of steps it takes, right? So O1, for example, depicts that it just takes, it's a very quick algorithm, right? Most of this is subjective in a sense, right? And On tells us that it takes, there are 5 elements in an array, right? In this case, it would take 5 steps to solve the solution in the best case, basically. So that is what O represents, basically. So generally speaking, we need to solve this problem by finding any value that appears more than once in the array. We can utilize a set to track these elements we've encountered as we iterate through the array. And the reason we use sets in this particular problem is because sets in Python provide a very efficient way to check for existence of an element. Since lookups are set at O1, what does this mean? So if we are looking through, let's say, another database, let's say a list, Python might need to go through all elements to tell us, oh, this element already exists in this. But with a set, it just needs, it can immediately find this element is there or this element isn't there, basically. So that's what we mean by O1. So we're going to break this solution down. So the first step is to initialize a set to keep track of all elements that we've seen so far. So let's type out the code in regards to that. Now that we have created a set, the next step that we need to do in this code is to loop through each element in the array. And for that, we need to set up a for loop. For that, we need to, we'll write down the code right now. With that out of the way, what is the next step? And the reason I'm going so slowly is so that you can get familiar with the process and how what pseudocode I wrote to solve this problem. For the next step, there are actually 2 sub steps in that as well. So we need to check for each element if it is already in the set. So we need to check by checking in the set if num, the value that we're iterating over in this, is in the set seen, right? And if it is, then we return true because we found a duplicate, and the program should immediately tell, yes, there's a duplicate in this array. But if we haven't found a duplicate, then we add that element to the set, basically. So let's type that out. With that, we should be done with the third step. And the fourth step is that if we complete the loop without finding any duplicates, we need to return false to close the loop on this particular function. So in this case, we go down, we exit the for loop, and we return false to complete the to complete the running of the program in case we find no duplicates within that. So first we can run this code here and see if oh, there's a error here, name error here. Let's see. Oh yeah. So again, like, these are the small syntax issues that happen. So yeah, we needed to make sure we capitalize true and false because that's how booleans are coded into a program. So we run this again. Yep, case one is works fine. The green, it says the case one worked. So we had an input of an array with four um, four numbers in it, 1 2 3 3. Our output is true because there are two duplicate numbers in it, 3 and 3. Similarly, case 2 is 1 2 3 4. There's no duplicate element, so our output was false. So that is how it should have worked. So which shows this is how you solve blind 75 problem number 1, which is look for duplicate integers. And with that, we're going to wrap up the first video of the blind 75 series, and we'll see you on question number 2 of blind 75. Thank you.